Shalom, shalom. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone who were well, and salutation to the brethren and the hopeful elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word and the name in truth and in sincerity. This is Ira from Great Millstone, Wisconsin. And once again, back at it, exalting the names once again of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, Yahweh meaning he exists or he is to be, and Yahweh Shai meaning he is the deliverer. Because there is none other name under heaven whether we must be saved. And we have been given a commandment to believe on the name of the Son of the Most High. This First John, chapter 3, verse 23, it says, and this is his commandment, that we should believe on the name of his Son, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and love one another as he gave us commandment. So it's a commandment to believe on that name, man. That means that we need to know the name and we need to exalt the name, because you can't believe in something that no one knows about. So we are to exalt these name and to believe in the name so we can reach salvation, because that is our power source. And speaking of the name, believing on the name, man, when it comes to the rest of the world, especially 2/3 of Israel, it's coming to a head where, Jake just wants to get the hell out of here, because this is no life to live. Being in Babylon, being in a world that's being governed and controlled by, by the darkness of the world, which is Satan, which spoils down to the Edomites. Now we all know that the Most High is in control of everything that happens, but the vexation and the irksome of spirit, is really at an all-time high now with the devils, with the witchcraft and with the demons that are out here, that are plaguing the world, and it really puts you in a mindset to want to be with the Lord, man. It really puts you in a mindset to not want to be on this earth anymore. And the only reason being is because we know that it's better, being in the spiritual world with the Lord, But like Paul said, it's more needful, to be on the earth because we have to do the Lord's work. But there's nothing wrong with feeling that way. The Apostle Paul felt that way. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 12. It says, for we commend, 5 verse 8, Salakia. It says, we are confident, I say, and willing, rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. Wherefore we labor that, whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him. So that's the whole point of laboring in the truth, man. So that way we can be present with the Lord and we can be perfect. Because we're tired of seeing the turmoil and the cesspool that is the planet Earth at this moment. It's a vexation, just everyday vexation, just being here. But we endure this unto the end for the elect's sake, man, that we should be saved. It says, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of Yahweh Shai, that every one may receive the things done in his body, according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. So when that judgment day comes, everyone's going to be judged for what they've done in their flesh, And when that judgment day comes, the hopeful elect, our faith is to be judged righteously, not righteously, but our faith is to be judged positively, by the Lord for the works that we've done in our flesh, which is through the ministry, because as when you wake up to the truth, or the Lord wakes you up to the truth, and then when you, as you continue through your journey in the truth, you start to gain much wisdom, but it also starts to make you sorrowful and sad, and sometimes it makes you a little bit pitiful to Jake, man, seeing everything that our people's going through, but knowing that the biggest factor of the disenfranchisement of our people is themselves, This is what you call the bitter part, Scriptures talk about in Revelations about eating the roll, and it was in his mouth sweet for sweetness, and in his belly bitterness. This is the bitter part. This is Ecclesiastes 1:17. It says, and I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit. For in much wisdom is much grief. The reason being is because the more you know, the more you understand. And the more you understand, the harder it gets to go through life, because now life as you see it'll never be the same. Everything, you see the issue with everything, you see the reason behind everything, especially when it comes to the wickedness in the world, man, and it actually becomes a burden, to know the wisdom of the world, to understand that all hell is about to break loose in this society, and everything is demonic in this place. It says, for in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow, meaning sadness. Your heart is going to start becoming heavy with the knowledge and the wisdom that you have, that's behind you, that's been given to you through the Spirit of the Lord, because no matter how hard you try, you can't really fix it, until the Lord decides to fix it, man. All we can do is just be messengers and exert the message, and when the Lord sees fit to make his appearance, that's when the world is going to change for the better. But until then, we have to endure and we have to suffer it, So that means suffering our people, man. That means suffering Jake, because Jake is a bunch of degenerates on this side at the moment. This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 8. It says, now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. This is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord. And that's the point, so as we grow in wisdom, and we start to understand that, damn, Jake ain't going to listen, Jake is inherently wicked, that makes us more sorrowful, because there's nothing that we can do to change it. We know that the Lord has their mind seared with a hot iron, we know that these people are wise to do evil. So there's really nothing we can do but just give them the message, And I know sometimes, Jake wants to, is a little over righteous and wants to, argue with Jake, and, they want to argue Jake down on every point, on a lifestyle and things of that nature. But at this point in time, we not even in the time to be doing that, the scriptures say, him that is righteous, let him be unrighteous still, So we have to grit our teeth, and we have to suffer Jake being rebellious. It says, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not. Unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits, So they don't really care about listening to the oracles of the Most High. They want to hear, they have itching ears. They want to hear what makes them feel good, That's why, to be honest with you, there's no point talking to Jake at this point, Yeah, we go out and we prophesy to the, to the winds. We on the highways and byways. We do our studio shows. We put up our videos, but we're really speaking to those that are perfect, like it says in Corinthians. We're speaking to the elect, and Lord willing, our digital epistles reach the elect. But as far as trying to speak to every Jake out there and try to, pull them over to the side of righteousness, there's really no point, unless the Lord wants them to get it. If not, we're not crying over spilled milk. It says, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. And that's all they care about. They don't care. They don't want righteousness to appear before them. They don't want order. They want chaos. They want to do what thou wilt. It says, wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stayed thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. Yeah. So their way of life is going to be destroyed, man. They're going to fall, man. That's the whole point of this. So really, it's like we can give Jake their judgment, which we're supposed to, and we can be bent out of shape about it. We can lose sleep over it all we want to. But at the end of the day, they're going to receive their judgment in the flesh for the deeds that they've done. Going back to 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter, that the first scripture that I read. So they're going to receive their judgment. In Ezra's, Gabriel told Ezra, he said, worry not about how the wicked shall be punished, but worry about how the righteous is going to be saved, man. Roughly paraphrasing. So they're going to receive their judgment. We don't have to worry about that. What we have to worry about is getting ourselves to the kingdom, and being saved from the coming destruction, you know? So, and we understand, and Slakia, we understand that the conversation, you know, of the wicked is irksome. We understand that, but that's something that we have to endure. Salakia. King James. I should have stayed here. Salakia. There we go. This is Sirach chapter 27 in verse 13. It says, the discourse of fools is irksome, and their sport is the wantonness of sin, you know? So, and you look into that word irksome, it means irritating, you know? Going back to Isaiah 30, these people are rebellious and perverse, man. So everything that they say, everything that they do, just looking at them is irksome, man. That's why we are willing to be with the Lord, man, instead of being down here, you know? But we have a greater purpose. You know, and our purpose at the moment is to teach the word in season and out of season, man. And we need to hasten to flee from this untoward generation. And how you flee is by doing the work of the Lord, man. This is Acts chapter 2. And this is verse 39. It says, for the promise is unto you and to your children and to all that are far off, even as many as the Lord our power shall call. So this is the promise to our children, man. You know, the promise that we would have remission of sins, the promise that we would have the kingdom of heaven, you know. It says, and with many other words did he testify and exhort, saying, save yourselves from this untoward generation, you know. And the word untoward means rude or froward, you know, which is wicked. You know, so, and how do we save ourselves from this untoward generation? By turning to the Lord and repenting, you know, and being his servants. It says, then they gladly received his word. Then they that gladly received his word were baptized. And the same day there were added unto them about 3,000 souls. So they repented, man, and they were baptized, you know, and Lord willing, they continued in the faith. So that way they were counted amongst the elect. And that's what we're looking towards now, man. And I got one, you know what? Yeah, I got a couple more scriptures here. Let's see. This is 2 Peter chapter 2. I'll start at verse 7. Well, matter of fact, I'll start at verse 5. It says, this is 2 Peter 2 and 5. It says, and spare not the old world, but save Noah the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. You know, and this example is of Noah and the flood. And Noah was saved, you know, and his family because he was a preacher of righteousness. So he fled from that wicked generation at that time, man, you know, by doing the work of the Lord. And he was saved by that, you know. And that's what we are striving to do. We are striving to be saved, you know, through our labors and faith in Yahweh by Yahushua. It says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. You know, so Sodom and Gomorrah was an example to those who would live wickedly and ungodly, man. And the thing is that same judgment that happened in Sodom and Gomorrah is going to happen here, you know, in Babylon. It says, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, you know. So being delivered by Yahweh Shem Yahushai is to abstain or to hate, you know, everything in this life that has nothing to do with the Lord, man, you know. So if Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, we're going to be vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked as well, you know. Honestly, I skipped a scripture really quick since I'm talking about that subject. This is back in Ecclesiastes chapter 2. And this is verse 17. It says, "Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me, for all is vanity and vexation of spirit." So we're supposed to be hating this life because everything is vanity. Nothing has any substance. Nothing has anything to do with Yahweh by Yahweh Shai, except for the prophets. So it says all is vanity and vexation of spirit. So this whole life that we live is a vexation, man. The only joy we get out of this life is serving Yahweh Yahweh Shai, man. That's it. We don't have any joy in our children. We don't have any joy in our women. We don't have any joy in any of our families. We don't have any joy in our bodies because we're constantly sick, constantly have ailments and infirmities. We can't enjoy anything in our lives as far as our daily bread and our money, our food. Everything is defiled, So everything is vexation, man. I have one more here, Wisdom of Solomon. The 3rd chapter. Starting at the 16th verse. It says, "As for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out." So this is what we're waiting for, man. On top of being delivered, we're not just being delivered from the coming destruction, but we're being delivered from our own wicked people, man. We're being delivered from the wickedness in this place, And sooner or later, this is going to be their judgment, man. 2/3 of our people is going to reap this judgment. It says, "For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded. In their last age shall be without honor." So they're going to die without honor, man. It says, "Or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial." So in the day of trial, meaning judgment day, they have no hope because of the deeds that they did in their flesh were evil. It says, "For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation." And that's the point. Horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation, meaning their judgment is going to be very, very grievous, man. And that's what we're trying to avoid. The hopeful elect, Lord willing, we're of that number, but we're trying to avoid, that horrible judgment. We want the tree of immortality, the tree of life, So with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. I want to give all praises, call halal Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, who well, and salutations to the brethren, four corners of the earth, pushing word and truth and sincerity. Shalom.